Hi everyone! If you were my best friend and you came to me and said, Joey, I really need to rebrand my life and upgrade my finances for next year, here's what I would tell you to do. And it's also what I've done. You need to give yourself a full audit. Write out how much you make, and if you want to, find out how much you spent last year. And me personally, I don't think it's necessary for you to go back a year and see how much you spent. The year has already passed, so why beat yourself up over it? You're already watching this video wanting to make a change for next year, so not necessary. I will say this though, if you want to drastically change your finances, you'll have to drastically change your life. There's an Albert Einstein quote that goes, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results." You'll have to write out all your necessities. There are 3 tiers of necessities. Let me explain. First tier is the actual necessities, like what you need to survive. When you're making this list, be humble, like you actually don't need a deep tissue massage every month. And this might sound controversial, but you don't need to buy organic food or organic anything. Organic butter. Here are your tier 1 necessities, what you actually need to survive. Rent payment, car payment, utilities, groceries, phone bill, toiletries like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face cream. And again, be humble when you're making this list. You don't need gold flakes in your face cream or body cream. You need a gym membership, and you need to factor in debt payments. We'll talk about this later on in the video. Here are your tier 2 expenses. These are what I like to call luxury necessities. Dental cleaning. This is kind of a luxury expense because if you put in the work and kept up with your dental routine, you might not need to go for cleaning as often, but if you do, it will only be once or twice a year. Deep tissue massages. When I was hardcore saving money, I didn't even consider getting a massage. It didn't even cross my mind. Unless you have, I guess, medical back problems or something. This might also sound controversial, but your friend's birthday celebrations. Maybe if your true best friend wanted to go to an expensive restaurant to celebrate her birthday, maybe I'd consider it. But if they aren't your best friend, I wouldn't spend $100 on a dinner. I would maybe get them a gift box for $30 to $50 and just skip the dinner. Obviously, this won't be forever, but you do need a full year of focusing on your finances. And hopefully by year 2 or 3, you'll have more disposable income and you can even treat your friend to a dinner without breaking the bank. Tier 3 is luxury. I'm not talking about handbags. I'm talking about car washes, car cleaning, Netflix. I haven't owned a Netflix account in years and years and years. I just watch YouTube videos for free. And clothing. You're good with what you have in the closet. Trust me, you don't need to add any more items to your closet. And eating out at a restaurant. That is luxury. I challenge you in the new year to not spend any money on the things listed on tiers 2 and 3. Again, this isn't going to be forever. It's just a 1-year challenge. I spent 2 to 3 years from when I was 19 to 22 or 23 not spending anything other than tier 1 necessities. And what doing that taught me is that you actually don't need that much to live. I was just looking around my room and all the things I have that are not necessities were actually gifted to me. The perfume, the candles, even the Gucci and Kate Spade bag in the background there were all gifts. My mom gifted me the Gucci bag and my best friend gifted me the Kate Spade bag, and those are the only 2 handbags I own. And before you ask, I was absolutely fine living this way. I didn't have to spend hours cleaning my room because I used every single item that I owned. I also moved 5 times in the last few years, so that was super easy for me. I was practicing the minimalistic clean girl trend before it even became a trend. I would rather be a minimalist than a, what's the opposite? Maximalist? And this might seem surprising to you, but I don't budget at all and I've never budgeted. I would just not buy unnecessary things, and every item that I bought, I knew it was a necessity. Whatever I needed, it was there. I didn't have any unnecessary things cluttering my room. Every single item had a spot. Life got super simple and easy this way. So you'll want to add up all your tier 1 expenses and subtract it from your income. And this is obvious, but the more minimalistic you become, the more your money adds up. And with that leftover money, you'll want to build an emergency fund. That is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, tier 1 living expenses saved up. Building this emergency fund is going to be super easy when you're not buying unnecessary stuff. And make sure you're putting all your savings into a high interest savings account. That is the true glow up, from a traditional savings account to a high interest savings account. You should not have a regular savings account with your bank at all. High interest savings accounts are a guaranteed risk-free way to make your money work for you, so don't overlook that. It only takes a few minutes to sign up for one. I have a video all about high interest savings accounts and I'll link it below. And in the new year, you'll strategically want to pay off your high interest debts. That is anything over 7 to 8%. Credit cards are at around 19%, so definitely pay those off. There are two ways to pay off debt, the snowball method and the avalanche method. Both are super easy to understand. Stop aimlessly throwing $300, $400 into your debts, because if you haven't already noticed, it's not doing anything. If you're putting $300 into one debt and then $400 into the other debt next month, ignoring this debt over here, you're not taking interest into consideration. Every month that you miss a payment, first of all, that will ruin your credit score. And second, you're collecting interest. That is debt on top of debt. And you want to avoid that at all costs. Like I always say, interest is only fun when you're earning it, like from high interest savings accounts, not paying it, like from high interest credit cards. So let's stop with that and have an actual plan. I didn't want this video to be super long, so if you need to pay off debt, I have a more in-depth video of the two ways to pay off debt. I'll link that below as well. And then you need to start investing. I promise you it's not that hard to understand. If you can buy something on Amazon, you can buy a stock on a brokerage app. The best part is, the earlier you start, the more money you'll earn in the stock market. Investing is not at all how much money you can invest, but how early you start. Here's a super quick example. If you invested $200 into the stock market, specifically the S&P 500, and if you kept investing $200 a month, in 40 years, you'll have over $1 million. And the crazy part is, only $100,000 of that $1 million is the money you put in. The rest of the $900,000 comes from the stock market. But if you start 10 years later, meaning you only had 30 years in the stock market instead of 40, you'll only end up with about $420,000. Let's say you wanted to play catch up and you invested $400 a month instead of $200, you'll still only end up with $830,000. Time actually equals money. $200 a month is only $50 a week. If you want to start investing, I do have a video pinned on my Instagram. It's a step-by-step on how I invest in the S&P 500 every month. The brokerage app I use is completely free, and I've been using this app for 6 years. It's called Wealthsimple. I'll link my personal link below. You can get $25, and no, this isn't sponsored. Last tip I have for you, bestie, is to not stay financially illiterate. Learn the language of money and it'll change your life. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. This video isn't meant to be information packed and leave you with a to-do list of 1,000 things. Even if you spent the next year paying off your high interest debt, that is still a huge financial milestone. And every year after that, your money will start adding up and compounding. And the more money you have, the more money you'll have working for you. Good luck and see you in the next video.